Alright everybody, welcome back to a deck profile video, this time on Krista Lenz. This is one of the characters that's intrigued me a lot, just with her cool wall count. I love the wall counter gimmick, right? Like, I actually think that's probably the most well done gimmick in the set. But the way she gets them is really cool outside of she's able to get them like whenever she discards one or more cards. So like combat phase, end phase, the review step. Yeah, so she gets to do a lot of cool things. So let's go ahead and get into it. She gets wall counters. You can remove wall counters. By discarding cards. She removes one wall counter for stun 1. Great. She can also remove 4 wall counters to choose a card in each player's discard pile and place it on top of their deck, which gives us some really cool like form draw speed tricks. Award the Victor tricks are really cool. And plus, we can just set up our opponents to just draw foundations on their turn and then not kill us ever, which is also kind of nice. So we'll go ahead and get into the deck. First attack is Panicked Admonishment. Panicked Admonishment. I think that's how you say it. It's a 3 difficulty, 3 check, too high for 3. If we have 4 or more wall counters on cards in our stage, so that means any, so it can be 4 or more in any cards, we get 2/2. Pretty nice. As an end of turn string. Flash Fire, Fist, Jet Kindling, mill 3. If we milled an attack this way, draw a card. It gives us an Echo attack, which is kind of nice, because we don't really put a whole lot of stats on cards other than just stun 1. So getting stun 2 off of 1 card is really good. Plus draw 2, kind of nice. This is the coolest card with her, I think, because it has stun on it already, and then we can give it stun, and then we freeze those 2. Plus, we can just ready 1 to restun it to draw a card. I kind of went with a let's draw as many cards as possible package, because we want to be able to supplement her discard effects to get as many counters as possible. One of the 2 kill cons in the deck: Pressing Advantage, 5 difficulty, 2 check, EX2 charge, Blitz, commit 1 rival foundation. This attack gets X damage. X equals the number of your rivals' committed foundations. So we're able to stun our opponent out, and then give them a bad check on top, and then murder them. Next card in the deck is 4 copies of Walmaria's Might. 5 difficulty, 3 check, 5 low, 5 blitz. Add 1 wall counter to a card in your stage. Then draw 1 card for every 2 counters on that card. Response block: after you block an attack with this card, draw a card. So it gives us draw on both modes. Awesome. It gives us a wall counter. Awesome. I've seen some people playing games with this card, and they've drawn 5 cards off of this. I love drawing cards, and drawing cards is great. And then the other kill con in the deck, Walk the Dog, everyone's favorite. So we are stun deck, so this is usually going to be on a 4 plus prog. Draws us a card for every copy, has powerful, which we need, and yeah, not much to else say about it. It's Walk the Dog. Everyone hates it, but everyone loves it at the same time. One of the coolest cards in the wall counter gimmick, Raise Walls. It's 0/5 action, plus 2 mid. Form, draw a card, add 1 wall counter to a card in your stage, draw a card. Response: after you block with this card, the block attack loses shift, which is huge because a lot of people are playing just back the shift attacks because they're really good. Draw a card. So it helps us get wall counters, it helps us draw cards offensively, and it allows us to draw cards defensively. So I love that. I would actually play this in an order, a character who can be order attuned, even if they're not playing wall counter stuff, which would be kind of crazy if they weren't, because they could play Fortify Walls, and Fortify Walls is crazy. So we got 2 copies of Anti-Flip with Saving Bakugo. We want to see what we're checking, because we are playing 2 checks. So Foresight allows us to build good. Botan's Coaching allows us to fix our hand. Ice Gliding for defense, because we want to string block a lot of the times, and not all the time, but if we play like showdowns, or if we put showdowns in our deck, and Raise Walls is a plus 2 mid, so this kind of makes it a little easier to block. Idle work is really cool because, we destroy a foundation. If our opponent blocks our attack, we get to draw a card and discard. So it basically turns into draw a card, get 2 wall counters. 3 copies of public support. It's a 1/4 plus 3 high. After this card enters your discard pile during the enhanced step, your attack gets +1 speed, +1 damage. But we can also destroy it to look at the top card of our deck. We may discard a card, gain 2 counters, and draw. So we could technically do some really cool stacking with Krista in the middle of the turn to put an attack on top of our deck. Destroy this, get +1/+1 to the current, discard a card, gain 2 counters, then draw the attack we need. Creeped out because we don't want to die. It gives us +2 to check, which is kind of nice. And plus, if Breaker's being played, it gives Breaker -1. The final test, form flip. If we have discarded a card this combat phase, draw a card. So we're going to discard cards, hopefully a lot. And then it allows us to add a card, draw a card we stacked, or just draw a random card off the top. Excuse me. 4 copies of Horrifying Realization. Form flip. Each player discards 1 card and draws 1 card. If your rival discarded a foundation this way, they commit. So we discard, get 2 counters, draw a card. Or it also states, instead of drawing a random card, we draw the card we stacked. Or the card with Award the Victor. 2 copies of Anti-Draw and Deadlock Hate. Incompatible quirks is like the next thing to say people want it banned for some reason, but it's really just Mikasa. It's actually pretty good for decks that gives them some more stringing power. Anti-asset because we hate vertical maneuvering gear, which probably needs to be either a 2x or more on board. Crimson Sparrow is our main discard outlet. 2/5, 2 low block card pool, which will never be in our card pool anyways. After your attack deals damage, ready 1 foundation that has not been readied. But the big thing is discard a card, gain 2 counters for 1 speed or -2 speed. So this probably will end up just turning into... Actually, we'll probably just do this live. So we'll do this live. Boop. And then we'll turn this into this, because we want to see this card. So we're going to go 3 copies of this. Kick Irwin's Inside Out. We're going right to 4 copies of Fortify Walls. It's Speed Hate. It gets us more counters, so we can move more counters. Does it say remove from her? Remove 4 wall counters. It doesn't state. So we can remove 4 counters from anybody. As long as we do that, we get speed. Or we can flip and move card stuff around. 2 copies of Award the Victor, because we have a lot of form draw stuff. We're just able to, if we want to check well, and clear our card pool. It's even better. So the real cool play would be is to wall Maria's Might. Cool. We draw some cards. We award the victor, and then either we've discarded cards. If we've discarded cards, we can form flip Final Test or form flip Horrifying Realization, which is really good. Into the board, we got 2 copies of Genkai's Guidance, because, yep, Genkai's Guidance is good. 1 copy of Can't Escape Me. 2 copies of Throw Hate. Also, then we got this really cool piece. If our opponent has some really, really problem pieces we can't deal with our stun package, we can also play this. Once per turn, discard 1 or more cards. Commit 1 non-character card in your rival stage with a difficulty less than or equal to the number of cards discarded. So if we have a lot of cards, like with Wall Maria Might, put into our hand, and we don't want to deal with ODM gear, vertical maneuvering gear, we can discard 2 cards, foundations or whatever, and just get rid of it, which is great. Showdown. We don't want people killing us, or we're tapping problem pieces, then going in. And then Fortitude of... I really like this card. I just don't know if it makes the cut in a lot of decks. This is probably just going to turn into another Detailing the Plan, but it's a permanent breaker 1. So that's the Krista deck, guys. I'm going to try to play this at locals once I get all my Wall Marias. I have traded for my 4th one, so we're hopefully going to be playing this soon, because I really like this deck, and I think it's very cool, and does some really neat, cool card pool, form speed, draw manipulation shenanigans. So Stay tuned for the next video, guys, and until then, take care.